is it? Can't we consider them under regulations when the time comes? Because the whole idea here is to allow regulations usually contain details that may not be in the substantive act. So whether we agree with the details we are proposing here or not, can't we consider them in regulations?
In fact, it says, it's very explicit. It says, the annual returns referred to under subsection 1 shall contain information prescribed in the regulations. And that information is A, a summary of the trust's assets and liabilities. B, income and expenditure, distributions made during the financial year. Material related party transactions where applicable. Details of the auditor or independent reviewer and the status of the trust's financial statements where applicable. Such other information as may, no, that one is out. There wouldn't be any other further. You have to think of what it is. What we are saying is, in the regulations, under 2, this is what we are going to set out.
I agree with you.
76 is a trust agent is a person who has been appointed by the trustee to offer services to a trust, including trust information, providing registered office address, and lodging statutory documents on behalf of the trust. A trustee shall notify the registrar of any appointment or termination made of a trust agent appointed for purposes of the lodging statutory documents. And we have a 3 trust agent appointed for purposes of this subsection shall be that one we have dealt with, provided. Now, what is he proposing here? He's proposing, recommends that the bill should be clear parameters for the registrar's exercise of discretion to determine fees where no fee. No, I'm reading the wrong fee. A certified accountant appointed as a trustee service and service provider may, within the scope of the Accountants Act and applicable professional standards, provide accounting, financial reporting, tax compliance, financial record keeping, and related compliance services to the trust. Why an accountant? Why have you picked accountant? And we have 3, which says it can either be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, a certified secretary, or a certified accountant. Why are you talking about a certified accountant alone?
Not just that, Chair. I think that you have to explain this proposal because the clause does not seem to relate to what you're proposing at all. It seems to be totally different because the clause 76.3, mirrors what we already saw earlier. And the only thing it adds is that it cannot be construed to allow a person who is unqualified as an advocate to draw documents. Now, where your proposal comes in, please try to explain to us because it's strange.
Chair, I think it's not even that. We are talking about an agent, a trust agent, and they are only allowed under 76.1 3 things, not the myriad of things that you have added now. They're supposed to do transformation, providing a registered office address, and lodging statutory documents. Those are the 3 things they have been asked to do. Whether you are an advocate, whether you are a certified secretary, or an accountant. Now, when you talk about providing financial reporting, tax compliance, not as an agent, you have to be called something else because an agent has only 3 functions. So I think this is not relevant to the section we're looking at.
Or maybe
I get you. Thank you. Ours was concerned in regards to the accounting function, financial reporting, and tax related, that anybody else can do in absence of an accountant. That's what we're trying to address here.
So if an accountant is appointed as an agent,
Yeah.
he also has to do these other things, which you put there. No, they've said that a certified accountant appointed, so it's themselves.
That's
Because
what
the
I meant.
advocate can't do that. You see, it is not fitting very well.
It's, that's what you meant.
Now, there's a problem. Then you should have the courage to say that we should change the whole act to be administered only by accountants, in which case we will reject it.
Thank you very much. We look at 83. 83, which is the last one, I believe. The last one. Yes, it is the last one. 83 is fees payable to the registrar. There shall be prescribed fees payable to the registrar in respect of all these things. 2, in respect of performance of functions or the provision of services or facilities by the registrar, where the registrar is doing anything, the registrar will do this. All right, what are you proposing? You're saying the institute recommends that the bill should establish clear parameters for the registrar's exercise of discretion to determine fees where no fee has been prescribed, including requirements for reasonableness, transparency, proportionality, and public accessibility of such fees. Isn't there a requirement here that we shall do this in regulations? Yes. Other than those for which fees are payable for by regulations. Because he has no discretion. He cannot use his discretion to determine fees. Can he?
I think what we should disclose is that in legislation such as this, even where it indicates that the registrar will prescribe the fees, those fees can only be prescribed in regulations.
Yeah.
Those regulations do not become law until they come to Parliament. So while your proposal is reasonable, those parameters of reasonableness will actually be determined by Parliament. So the registrar does not have total discretion that now they could decide now you pay 1 million, tomorrow you pay. No. It must be prescribed through Parliament.
There's going to be a schedule. BRS, aren't you going to gazette the fees payable, or you're going to do it discretionary, whimsically?
No, absolutely, Chair. Even from the practice that we have, we cannot charge anything which is not prescribed by regulations. It would be actually acting outside the ambit of the law.
There's a 500 shillings which were provided for elsewhere, yes, for default. Is this supposed to be 500 shillings, Kenya shillings?
Yes, Chair. When you do not
every year?
Yes, every year you do not file the return. I know currently under the Companies Act, the default of not paying your annual return is that 500 shillings. But the prescribed fee is 1,000 shilling, so that if you have not done this for 10 years, you will be paying 1,000 for the current year and 1,500 for the previous years. Maybe what you're saying, it's not punitive enough to deter somebody from not filing, which could be near.
How soon did you amend the companies? No, companies and the other personal returns. How soon were those fees determined? Are they recent or they are as old as you can imagine?
That was in 2015.
2015?
Yes.
All right.
So maybe
but with those individual returns, I think the fees are reasonable because majority, 99.9% of Kenyans will file nil returns. So you tell him to pay more than 500, you're wasting your time. But these trusts, what happens with a multi-billion trust that doesn't file returns?
In other words, why is it that for the records under 64.4, we have fairly huge sums, 100,000, 500,000, and for this one is just 500 shillings? Just help me understand why it is so wide.
which is to file annual returns. The trust or any trustee of the trust in default is liable to pay to the registrar an administrative penalty of 500 shillings for each year of default. I know you're going to set filing fees here with the regulations, but we are worried about that default for a trust.
Include financial returns, isn't it? Or it's just a form to be filled?
Chair, that is why there's the reference to the information that shall be provided